In the bustling world of Santa's workshop, Pip, the tiny elf, often found himself overshadowed by the hustle and bustle of the larger elves who deftly and efficiently zipped around preparing for the holiday season. With nimble fingers and an enormous, caring heart, Pip always tried his best to keep up with the whirlwind pace, but his diminutive stature often put him at a disadvantage. Pip's heart brimmed with determination. Every day he would rise before dawn, sparkling with a drive to prove that being small didn't mean being any less essential. His tiny hands were adept and meticulous, allowing him to handle delicate tasks with care. He specialized in assembling intricate parts of the toys that required precision where larger hands would falter. Despite his efforts, Pip occasionally overheard whispers among the other elves questioning his abilities. For Pip, the challenge was not just keeping up with the pace, but also boosting his self-esteem amid the towering presence of more imposing peers. One snowy morning, the workshop was filled with frenzy as last-minute preparations for Christmas Eve were underway. Santa had given the task of putting the final touches on his special bag of gifts to the elves. However, as luck would have it, an unexpected glitch in the conveyor belt occurred, causing chaos in the gift assembly line. Without a moment's hesitation, Pip darted across the workshop floor. His small frame allowed him to maneuver through cramped spaces and get to the source of the problem. With nimble hands, Pip quickly fixed the malfunctioning gear and got the conveyor belt rolling again, saving the day. A chorus of cheers echoed through the workshop as the elves hailed Pip as the hero of the day, proving that courage and heart often prove more powerful than sheer size. That day, Pip realized that his value was not measured by his size, but by his unique abilities and his unwavering spirit. From that day forward, Pip became an essential part of Santa's team, no longer seen as a tiny elf struggling to fit in, but as a crucial member of the workshop where heart and teamwork mattered the most. In the bustling village of Frostwood, tucked under the snowy branches near the North Pole, lived the elves who spent all year preparing for Christmas Eve. Among them was a young, eager elf named Pip. Unlike his peers, Pip was a touch smaller, his stature often drawing gentle teasing from the other elves. They would say, "Pip, you're too small to carry even the lightest toy," or "A strong gust might blow you off the sleigh." Though said in jest, the words stung Pip's heart. Determined to prove himself, Pip dedicated himself tirelessly to help in any way he could. He could be seen running errands, polishing sleigh bells, and even organizing Santa's grand list. Despite his small size, his enthusiasm was monumental. However, as Christmas Eve approached, the senior elves debated who would accompany Santa that year, and like always, Pip was overlooked. Feeling disheartened, Pip wandered toward the reindeer stables, seeking solace among his four-legged friends. His favorite reindeer, Coco, nudged him affectionately, offering comfort. "If only I could show them," Pip whispered to Coco, gazing at the vast sky. Meanwhile, in the elf workshop, a small commotion was brewing. An unexpected twist of fate had left one of Santa's designated helpers with a bout of snow flu. In sheer excitement and a bit of desperation, the elves were faced with finding a replacement quickly. Remembering Pip's relentless energy and passionate work ethic, the head elf proposed he take the spot. Pip, but, began one of the naysayers only to be quieted. This could be his chance. On hearing the news, Pip was both thrilled and terrified. He was going to help Santa. As the night settled in and the sleigh prepared to take flight, Santa himself assured Pip with a gentle nod and a warm smile. As they soared through the night, Pip's nimbleness proved invaluable. In narrow chimneys and tight spaces in between gifts, he navigated effortlessly, surprising everyone with his capability. When Christmas dawned, back in Frostwood, the elves cheered for Pip's success on his first ever Christmas expedition. No longer just the small elf in the workshop, Pip had carved out his own place in the annual legend of Christmas Eve. From then on, he was never underestimated again, and the name Pip became synonymous with courage and determination in the village. And Pip? He learned size was never an obstacle if your heart was big enough. On Christmas Eve, as the North Pole buzzed with the final preparations for Santa's yearly journey, a seemingly ordinary event took an unexpected turn. A particularly special toy, a handcrafted wooden airplane with delicate wings and tinkling bells, slipped from one elf's mittened hands during the bustling activity. The toy gleamed under the starry sky as it tumbled from a workshop window, nestled into a snowbank so deep that only its shimmering golden propellers peeked through the frosty white. The elves, though experts in all matters of toys and Christmas cheer, faced a challenge. The deep snow was treacherous, and time was of the essence. No one wanted to delay Santa's important mission. A group of them huddled together, their green and red hats nodding in agreement that something had to be done. Xander, a clever and inventive elf with round glasses and a knack for solving problems, stepped forward. "I have a plan," he announced confidently. The others gathered around as Xander explained. "We can't reach the toy by digging because we'll disturb the snow and risk losing it deeper. But if we use the special snow lifting gadget I've been tinkering with, we might just retrieve it without delay." Hope rekindled among the elves as they rushed to the workshop's gadget room. There, under sheets of plans and unwrapped candy canes, lay Xander's invention, the Snow Scoop 3000. It was a peculiar contraption with extendable arms, padded with protective felt, and a section specifically designed to cradle delicate toys. With urgency in their hearts, the elves hustled to the snowbank. Xander carefully maneuvered the Snow Scoop 3000 over the glistening snow, his gloved hands expertly manipulating the controls. The scoop descended slowly, its gentle touch reaching the golden propellers. In a magnificent lift, the toy airplane soared from its snowy bed and into the elves' jubilant grasp. The workshop exploded into cheers as the toy was safely returned to its rightful spot. The toy was ready to join the cargo of delights for children worldwide. As the clock chimed and the sleigh bells jingled, Santa himself stopped by the workshop, beaming at the teamwork and ingenuity of his little helpers. "Merry Christmas, my dear elves. Your quick thinking has saved the day," he declared, his voice warm and full of gratitude. Together, the elves and Santa watched as the sleigh, now complete with every toy, took flight into the night. The shimmering northern lights cast an ethereal glow over the workshop, marking the end of another successful, albeit adventurous, Christmas Eve. In the quaint village of Willowbrook, the sun shone brightly over the verdant hills and bustling market square. A soft breeze carried the scent of blooming flowers, promising a beautiful day ahead. Among the villagers, young Pip stood out with his boundless energy and bright eyes, always ready for an adventure. Pip, a gentle and spirited pony, found himself trotting along the familiar path toward the playground where his human companions often gathered. The children adored him for his playful nature and gentle demeanor. Today, a sense of excitement lingered in the air as the school bell chimed, releasing a wave of jubilant children into the sunshine. As Pip arrived, an urgent whisper spread among the crowd. Lily, the youngest of the group, had lost her beloved toy, a small plush rabbit, in the dense woods nearby. It was her treasure, her comfort, and without it, tears threatened to flood her bright blue eyes. The other children hesitated. The woods were a mysterious place, dense and dark, filled with secrets and unknown paths. Pip, sensing the gravity of the situation, took a few determined steps forward. His small stature belied a bravery that burned fiercely within. Seeing this, the children erupted into encouragement, urging him on with gentle pats and hopeful cheers. With a determined snort and a swift flick of his tail, Pip set off into the wooded thicket, his keen senses and tenacious spirit guiding him. The trees loomed overhead, casting playful shadows that danced along the forest floor. The deeper he went, the more the world around seemed to quiet, leaving only the soft rustle of leaves and distant bird calls. Undeterred by the challenge, Pip sniffed the air, his nostrils twitching. He followed the faint scent of cotton and lavender that clung to Lily's rabbit. Navigating with agility and confidence, he bypassed tangled roots and brambles that sought to slow his progress. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, a hint of white among the green caught his eye. There, nestled at the base of a towering oak, was the missing toy. Pip nudged it gently with his nose, confirming its presence and catching a whiff of Lily's familiar scent. With his prize secured between strong teeth, Pip made his way back, his heart thumping with pride and exhilaration. As he emerged back into the bright clearing, a chorus of shouts and cheers welcomed him. Lily's tears transformed to a beaming smile as she hugged her beloved toy tightly. That day, Pip was not just a playful pony, but a hero, lauded for his bravery and determination. In the eyes of the children, he was a true friend, reminding them all that courage often came in the most unexpected forms. The cheerful air of excitement buzzed throughout the North Pole as Santa prepared for his yearly journey. For everyone involved, it was unquestionably the most thrilling time of the year. Among the bustling elves, one tiny figure stood a bit apart from the rest, a mouse named Pip. With eyes wide and eager, Pip watched the flurry of activity and dreamed of one day helping deliver gifts around the world. Pip's heart nearly leaped out of his chest the day he received a special invitation from Santa himself. Santa had heard of Pip's unyielding enthusiasm and wanted him to help with the most special of tasks, assisting on the sleigh ride. When Christmas Eve arrived, Pip scampered over to where Santa and his reindeer were preparing for their long night. "Welcome aboard, Pip," Santa greeted him, his eyes twinkling with warmth. The little mouse's chest puffed with pride, while the reindeer polished their antlers and Santa loaded the last of the toys. Pip found his special seat right beside Santa. As the sleigh took flight, Pip couldn't help but squeak with excitement. The wind rushed by and stars twinkled like ethereal lanterns guiding them through the night sky. Pip had the important job of checking the list with Santa. Pip ensured each present was delivered to its rightful child worldwide. But Pip wasn't just checking lists. His small size became a surprising advantage. There came a moment when the sleigh was parked atop a house with a particularly narrow chimney. "This looks tricky," Santa commented, scratching his snowy beard. Without hesitation, Pip volunteered. "I can do it." With a cheerful nod from Santa, Pip grabbed a small package with his little paws and scampered down the chimney. Inside, Pip carefully placed the gift under the Christmas tree before making his way back up. And each time they encountered a slim or narrow space, Pip was there to ensure every child received their holiday joy. By the time the sun began to peek over the horizon, the sleigh was empty, their work done. As they returned to the North Pole, Santa chuckled. Who would have thought a little mouse could make such a big difference? Pip beamed with pride, knowing he had proven that when it came to spreading joy, size didn't matter, heart did. On Christmas Eve, a crisp chill hung in the air, and the world below glittered with the soft glow of festive lights. High in the sky, Santa's sleigh zoomed through the night, powered by his faithful reindeer and guided by a constellation of stars. In the back of the sleigh, amid the sack brimming with colorful boxes, sat Pip, Santa's newest elf in training. Assigned to assist Santa on the busiest night of the year, Pip was a bundle of excitement and nerves. As they soared over bustling neighborhoods and sleepy towns, Santa bellowed his cheerful "ho, ho, ho" as he expertly tossed gifts down chimneys. Everything was running smoothly until they arrived over a small town nestled in a quiet valley. It was then Pip noticed something alarming in the inventory list. A gift was listed for Sophie, a child in this very town, but it was missing from the bag. Pip's heart thudded with panic. "Santa, we've misplaced Sophie's gift," cried Pip, scanning the endless sea of presents around them. Santa's jovial face turned serious. "Oh dear, we can't have that. Christmas wouldn't be complete without her gift." Determined to resolve the situation, Pip's quick thinking kicked in. "I remember packing a special red box with a silver ribbon. It must have slipped into the wrong compartment of the sleigh," Pip exclaimed. Without a moment to lose, the young elf scrambled over packages, searching with determination. Guided by intuition and a bit of luck, Pip's eyes latched onto a glint of silver under a large teddy bear. "Found it!" Pip shouted, pulling out the beautifully wrapped present meant for Sophie. Relief washed over Santa's face, his eyes twinkling once more. "Well done, Pip. You've saved the day and ensured Sophie will have a magical Christmas." With the red box firmly in Santa's hand, the sleigh veered towards Sophie's house. Within moments, her gift was spirited down the chimney, nestling alongside the waiting stockings. As the sleigh resumed its skyward flight, Santa clapped Pip on the back. "You've done splendidly tonight. Keep this up and you'll be a top-tier helper in no time." Pip beamed with pride, feeling the warmth of having made a difference. The sleigh continued on its journey across the star-studded sky, knowing that no gift would go astray under Pip's watchful eye this Christmas Eve. Pip's quick thinking had indeed saved Christmas for one more family, ensuring the magic and joy of the season was felt by all. In the enchanted forest of Elfinwood, the workshop buzzed with excitement as the return of Pip, the pint-sized hero, was eagerly anticipated. Just days ago, Pip, one of the smallest elves, had set out on a brave quest to recover the lost star, a magical artifact vital for the upcoming Winter Solstice Festival. Pip was not always seen as a hero. Most of the other elves, including Bruno the Strong, Lila the Clever, and Nora the Swift, had often overlooked Pip's unique abilities. While the other elves prided themselves on their strength, intelligence, and speed, they had failed to see Pip's talent for listening to the whispers of the wind and understanding its secrets. Days before, when the lost star went missing, the entire village went into a panic. The elder elves held a meeting, and despite his size and timid demeanor, Pip bravely volunteered to search for the artifact. Initially scoffed at, Pip's determination convinced them, and he set off into the forest, guided by the gentle rustle of leaves and faint starlight. Pip followed the tails of the wind, traversing mossy stones, sparkling streams, and towering pine trees, until he stumbled upon an ancient oak with hidden symbols etched into its bark. Listening closely, Pip deciphered the tree's message and discovered a hidden path leading to the star's resting place. With the lost star in hand, Pip journeyed back to Elfinwood, greeted by jubilant cheers from the other elves. It was a sight to behold, the smallest elf cradling the artifact that would keep the festival alive. Bruno, Lila, and Nora stepped forward, their expressions softened with humility. "We owe you an apology," Bruno began, his deep voice sincere. "We didn't realize how important your abilities were." Lila nodded. "Your bravery and wisdom showed us our mistake. From now on, we'll value everyone's unique strengths." Nora, usually quick to move, lingered by Pip, expressing gratitude and newfound respect. That evening, the elves gathered around a grand bonfire, singing joyful songs and weaving stories of Pip's triumph into their lore. The air was filled with celebration and an understanding that every elf, regardless of their size or usual role, held a vital piece of their magical community. The lost star twinkled above them, restored, as Pip, the once overlooked elf, smiled amongst his friends, knowing he helped save the spirit of Elfinwood.